Hi everyone and welcome back. My name is Lisa. For those who are joining me for the first time, I am in the process of launching a brand new Ayurvedic inspired organic skincare line called Sahajan. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Where we left off in the last episode was the product was ready and it was my opportunity to premiere it to the world. And where did I decide to do that? Was none other than the Toronto International Film Festival, aka Tiff. And so I'm dying to tell you what happened. And so to give you a little bit of context, during TIFF, a number of gifting lounges pop up sort of around the film festival where PR agencies put them together in an effort to amalgamate brands who want to be able to share their brand with stars. And it's an opportunity to just kind of share the love between brands, between agencies, and get celebrities interacting with both the agencies, the brands, the city, all sorts of cool stuff. And so what happened with Sahajan? And I'm so excited to tell you. First thing I want to tell you is it was wild and it was amazing. This morning, I could barely get out of bed. My eyes didn't want to open. It was 10-hour days every day on your feet, and I'm not a lady who likes to wear heels. So I'm practically limping this morning. What I also want to tell you is that it was a phenomenal experience for the brand. For all you stargazers out there, I met some cool people. I met Tom Hardy, aka Bane, from The Dark Knight Rises. I met the beautiful Emmanuelle Chriqui, who played Sloane on Entourage. I met Jason Ritter. I met some amazing Canadian celebrities. I had the opportunity to meet Lauren Holly. Just all these different people of varying ages, of varying celebrity, who were so neat and were so cool when they interacted with the brand. So the real question is, beyond all the stargazing, is did this make a difference for my brand? And I have to admit, I sat down last night before I went to bed and really thought about it. And I believe this was so beneficial for the brand. It was a huge investment. I had to pay to be there, and I gave away a ton of product. And this was not the time to be chintzy in any way. I shared product with my friends in the lounge. People would come through and say, can you hook my publicist up? Can you hook my mom up? Do you mind giving something extra for my girlfriend? And I was stuffing bags as I went. So it was a lot to contribute. But here is where I think I benefited from it. One, we got really great publicity. There was a media day, the first day of the lounge. And what happened was media come through because they want to know what's new and what's in the lounge and what will celebrities be getting. And you also give product to them and you share your story with them. So I've already started to see media hits where people are talking about the brand. I could have never done that on any format if I had planned it myself. The second thing was, as I mentioned, I got to share product with people who are on trend and who are thought leaders. Huge takeaways for me were the number of people where when I said the word Ayurveda that said, oh yeah, I totally know, you don't need to give me any detail. I've been to this treatment and that treatment, and I spend all this time putting coconut oil in my hair and my face and my teeth and my this and my that. So they are on trend and they get it. So who better to give the product to? And then the third thing was all the little weird opportunities that came out of it. And I say weird because they were kind of strange. So Tom Hardy, great example. Phenomenal man. If you're a fan, you're a fan of a spectacular individual. But what I will tell you is he came in, like most of the A-listers did, with their entourage. And so they had an opportunity and they were interacting with the different brands in the lounge. And then his makeup artist came. And she was lovely. And I shared some about the product and some details, and she tried it on. And then his publicist tried it on. And then she put it on him. And actually, we have this great picture of him putting the hair oil in his beard. So very cool. And he was funny. He said something funny like, no amount of skin cream is going to make me gorgeous. But what was really amazing about it was his makeup artist said, if we love it, would you be willing to continue to send it to us in the UK? And I thought to myself, first of all, who wouldn't want to send him product? But second of all, she's willing to share it with him and she's willing to make it a staple if they love it. So how cool is that? She gave me her contact information. She told me when to follow up with her. And she even indicated that brands are constantly trying to get him to use their product. But now I was able to get myself to the top of the list. Would I have ever had that opportunity? So how I see it is I've planted a number of seeds. Some of those seeds may never grow. I'm hoping that at least one really blooms, but I think in reality, I'm going to be seeing a little bit of all of that. I sat down with my advisor yesterday to do a recap, and my advisor is amazing. But one of the things he said to me was, take a half an hour this weekend, go to a coffee shop, and write down what the investment cost you in money, in paid goods, in all of those types of things. And then write down some of the people that you've met and some of the neat opportunities that have come up. And 2 years from now, we're going to go back to that and we're going to really see, was the investment worth it? And we're going to see what it translated to. And I also think within that 2 years, I'll also see what kind of cool follow-up I can do. So what an amazing experience. In terms of what I learned that I really want to share with you, regardless of what business you have, but if you are launching, my biggest personal takeaway from this was how clearly I needed to articulate my message and my brand. So for 2 reasons. One, I had people who came in on media day who would say, I only have 30 seconds. What do you need to tell me? And I would blurt something out. And then there were people who wanted to stay for 5 minutes and hear the whole story. But the other thing I realized is I got so used to telling the story over and over again that what I didn't realize is sometimes I left out that it was my brand. And I'm not even sure if I, in the moment, calculated what that meant. And then I had this wonderful German director come through, an up-and-comer. He had a movie at the festival, and he asked me, are you the rep for this brand? And I said, no, actually, this is my brand. The product's only been ready for 2 weeks. This is our big show to the world. And he sat back and he said, oh, I love entrepreneurs. What a big risk you've taken. And then he kind of reflected and he said, you know, my son plays in the playground with this woman in Germany who imports and exports skincare. Maybe there's something we could do there. And we exchanged email addresses, and I know he's phenomenally busy and he's got things going on in his world, and he was very careful to say, I can't make any promises. But what he really related to was the fact that it was my brand. And I made sure that after I had that experience, I constantly told people it was my brand. And it was something that I should have thought about. When I watch Shark Tank and when I watch Dragon's Den, I get so excited for the entrepreneurs that I Google their brands and I go out of my way to buy them. You know, if people can relate to my story, just like I hope you do on this vlog, it would make them a little bit more invested. I can tell you the truth, when Emmanuelle Shariki came by, and she was lovely, and she was gorgeous skin, let's be honest, she gave me a hug, which just felt so good, and she said, good for you for trying something like this. And so it's really important when you're sharing your story, one, to share that it's your story, but two, to be very clear on what you're selling, to be very clear on what the value is that you're proposing and how it differentiates from something else that they would have tried. So I hope you take that advice and use it. You've probably heard that thing, what's your 30-second pitch? I had to learn it over and over again in the last week. So I hope you've enjoyed the journey so far. If you haven't seen my previous videos, do check them out. If you have, tell me what you're up to. If there's things that you want to know or questions that you have, feel free to add them on down below. I would love to interact and hear what you're going through on your journey, because I really believe that we can create a community that supports each other as we all become entrepreneurs. Thanks so much.